You know why you're so soft, Jamie? Huh? Because you never lost. You never lost anything in your whole soft fucking life. Every now and then you say something that makes me think you're smart. And then I look at you and that shock fades.
You've won, Jamie. The kingdom is yours.
Is Jamie Dutton the ultimate tragic anti-hero, or just the weakest link in the Yellowstone dynasty? This question burns brighter than ever after Yellowstone's third episode of its final season. Has Jamie finally reached the point of no return? Or will Casey and Beth outmaneuver him again, unraveling his schemes faster than Sarah Atwood can draw up another illicit plan? And what about Casey, who seems more determined than ever to expose the truth behind John Dutton's death? With shocking twists, political chess moves, and one hell of a climactic death scene, this episode had more tension than a Beth Dutton stare down. But is this episode a return to form? Or is this the demise of everything Taylor Sheridan worked so hard to build? Join me, dear viewer, as I dive back into the raging dumpster fire that is modern Hollywood. Before we dive in, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to make sure you never miss out, ring that notification bell too. It'll help us break through the YouTube algorithm and keep this channel growing strong. The episode begins with Casey uncovering disturbing truths about his father's death, which was initially ruled a self-deletion. Ever the persistent investigator, Casey leverages his position as livestock commissioner and his extensive network to push for a deeper probe. His suspicions are confirmed. John Dutton was restrained before being killed, shattering the narrative that his death was self-inflicted. This revelation sets off a chain reaction, leaving Casey in a precarious yet powerful position. Meanwhile, the new temporary governor, conveniently aligned with Jamie's ambitions, initially appears ready to greenlight Jamie's plans to sell off the Dutton Ranch. However, the tide turns when Casey's findings force the governor to halt these efforts, driving a wedge into Jamie's carefully orchestrated scheme. On the other side of the drama, Sarah Atwood's manipulative grip over Jamie begins to falter. Her confident swagger is replaced by paranoia as news of John's murder investigation reaches her. Attempting to regain control, Sarah assures Jamie that they remain untouchable, a claim she tragically doesn't live to regret. A hit team interrupts her plans, riddling her with bullets in a chilling scene that leaves Jamie devastated and rudderless. By the episode's end, Jamie finds himself more isolated than ever, with Casey, Beth, and the indomitable Rip Wheeler closing in like wolves circling their prey. But let's talk about Jamie. After all, it's why you clicked on this video. Jamie has been Yellowstone's perennial punching bag turned wannabe puppet master. If there's one thing we've learned over the series, it's that Jamie has the backbone of a soggy pancake and the cunning of a fox trapped in its own snare. Sure, he's the Montana Attorney General, but does anyone really believe he earned that position on merit? Or was it handed to him by John Dutton, whose sheer force of will practically shaped Jamie's entire existence? Jamie's defining trait has always been his desperation for approval, whether from his father, Beth, or the latest power-hungry seductress whispering sweet betrayals in his ear. This weakness made him an easy target for Sarah Atwood, who played him like a fiddle. In other words, he's your classic beta male. Watching Jamie try to assert dominance only to immediately crumble under pressure has become a kind of tragic and comic art form. The man strikes Sarah in a moment of frustration, and she hits back harder, physically and metaphorically. That's Jamie in a nutshell. Someone who thinks he's in control until the world reminds him he's not even steering the ship. As I always say, sometimes life just has to grind you down for you to learn your lesson. Jamie's track record is littered with bad decisions and even worse outcomes. From the moment we learned he was adopted, it became clear he would never escape the shadow of his real Dutton siblings, particularly Beth. She's tormented him relentlessly over the years, and while some of that venom is tied to her forced sterilization, thanks to Jamie signing off on it without her knowledge, let's not pretend he's an innocent bystander in all this. Jamie's penchant for betrayal is as consistent as the Montana skyline. Remember when he killed a reporter to protect the family name? Or when he tried to run for governor against John only to fail spectacularly? Even his alliances seem cursed. Sarah Atwood, Market Equity's hot cougar scheming queen, was supposed to be his ace in the hole, yet she ended up becoming roadkill. Jamie's reaction to that, crying like a toddler who dropped his ice cream, perfectly encapsulates his character. A man always on the brink of greatness, but perpetually sabotaged by his own ineptitude. The Dutton Ranch represents grit, resilience, and unrelenting loyalty, qualities Jamie seems genetically incapable of possessing. And unlike Casey, who's battled inner demons and external enemies alike, or Beth, whose fierce devotion to the family borders on psychotic, Jamie operates in a moral gray zone that feels more cowardly than it does complex. He's a man who wants the power and prestige of being a Dutton without the blood, sweat, and sacrifice that it entails. Take Casey's actions in this episode, for example. While Jamie is busy plotting and sniveling, Casey is uncovering the truth about their father's murder in a calm, cold, and calculated way. Casey's relentless pursuit of justice highlights the stark contrast between the brothers. Casey is a soldier turned cowboy who has faced death countless times, yet he fights for his family with every ounce of his being. And Jamie? He's essentially the kid who tries to copy the cool kids' homework, but doesn't even get the answers right. This episode of Yellowstone doesn't just move the plot forward, it shines a harsh spotlight on the series' most polarizing character. Jamie Dutton is a tragic figure, but not in the Shakespearean sense. He's a cautionary tale about what happens when ambition outpaces character, intelligence, and capability. While Casey, Beth, and Rip position themselves as the true heirs to the Dutton legacy, Jamie continues to flounder, his every move a masterclass in self-destruction. With only a few episodes left, the question remains, will Jamie finally grow a spine and redeem himself? Or will he continue to spiral, proving once and for all that he was never meant to sit at the head of the table? But what do you guys make of all this? Please do let me know down below in the comments, and as always, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okie dokie.